All right, here's a fun one. In 2025, we learned Boggs' cat is better trained than half the adults running college football. That said, people, his claim that 40% of cats know how to fetch is absurd and will always remain absurd until the end of time. It's a hoax.
I'm going to have to get some video of it because he definitely does it. But he is smarter than the commissioner of the ACC. He would not have 17 teams in a conference, and he would not make 16 teams play 9 games and another team play 8.
Here we go.
He wouldn't do it. In our last recorded episode of 2025, we'll talk about the things we've learned since starting the podcast. Some of the things insightful, some of them mundane, but all are entertaining, at least to us. Additionally, we'll go through our Spotify Wrapped and reveal some otherworldly facts about our little podcast adventure. Literally.
Hey, if you're from Nigeria or Ecuador and you're listening regularly, shoot us a DM, man. We would
that'd
love
be so
to hear
great.
it.
Yes, let's go.
That is so cool. I mean, as much as we think social media sucks,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
just the connectivity that we can reach people across the globe.
Maybe we'd be like Conan and call them.
Ecuador, here we come.
Yeah, we're coming. This is the true story of 2 washed-up sports guys who chased the dream, private flights, championship rings, running sideline to sideline on per diem and adrenaline.
We gave our 20s and our 30s to the industry, pulled off miracles that were never in the job description. In return, low pay, long hours, and we still got cut from the team.
This is about what really happens behind the badge. The burnout, the bad bosses, the dream job that didn't love you back, but also the lifelong friendships, the chaos, the holy shit stories you couldn't make up. And somehow, despite everything, you'd still do parts of it all over again.
This is one for the ones who lived it, loved it, hated it, and still kind of miss it. For everyone who's ever asked, how in the hell did we survive that? We're 2 former sports insiders with more than 40 years of experience and more than enough scars to make fun of it all.
And just enough trauma to start a podcast instead of going to therapy.
I'm Brandon Barca,
And I'm Andy Boggs.
and this is No Longer Credentialed. We once had access, now we have opinions.
Podcast. You get it. Okay, Barca, this is the final episode of 2025. For the millions and millions of people listening to our mindless drivel, we're going to do an 80s fever dream recap of what we learned this year. All of your emotions will be stirred. Be ready.
We're going to laugh. We're going to cry.
Yeah,
We're going to cry some more.
we're going to do it all.
We're going to give the people what they want. We're going to look at the highs. We're going to look at the lows. Talk about some of our guests. Some of the things we
Yep.
learned.
Yeah.
All of the things we said that ended up being completely wrong
Yeah. And right.
and
And
right.
right.
We're going to have some fun with it.
All right, I'll go first. So in 2025, we learned that college sports will never be fixed.
Right off the
It's
bat
just-
here, man. Right off the bat.
It's just not going to happen. Maybe universities will collectively bargain with the players. Maybe Congress will step in to save the NCAA. Maybe conferences revert back to regional rivalries and bus rides. Maybe the sky turns green instead of blue. It just ain't happening, dog. So in the meantime, coaches will continue to leave programs before the season is over because they can't get the calendar right. Players will continue to get poached by other schools. Volleyball players will spend a week away from home and fly 3,000 miles for a midweek game. And the NCAA will keep getting sued. It'll just continue to be a never-ending news story about how things are wrong with the sport. Or sports. Will we keep watching? Barca, I guess that's why we have this podcast, because it's all screwed up. So maybe we just wanted to keep being screwed up.
So many layers to this. I mean, we already know the athletic staffer side of things is completely screwed up, but really, nobody cares.
No.
Nobody cares what happens to us low lifes behind the scenes. But on a larger scale, by the time this pod comes out, the first round of the college football playoff will already be done. Just to summarize just how effed up college sports is, we have a college football playoff with James Madison and Tulane playing in it. How did that happen?
Oh, man. I guess you want to throw the group of 5 people a bone, but I'd rather them play their own championship. I mean, if I were James Madison, I'd rather be a champion than just a participant. So, again, that's just one branch of, oh, man, the whole playoff thing was just such a disaster.
Hey, look, going to 16 teams, that'll fix it.
Oh, yeah, it will.
Going from 2 to 4 and 4 to 12, all of these things, it's going to be a fix. And what happens every time when one of these changes takes place, it feels like we're all the way back to square one.
I mean, it's just got to make it more objective instead of subjective. And you know how you do that, Barca. Super League. Super League. Let's go with the Super League.
We want relegation in there, too.
We do.
That would make it amazing.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? What if at the end of this past year, Florida was playing Florida State, and the loser of that game dropped down a division? So instead of them playing high Power Fives, they're going to drop down and play maybe South Florida and play Central Florida and play FIU. I mean, just think about it. I mean, it would have been crazy.
Who lost that game?
The place would have been packed. Florida State lost. We'd be
you guys
down at the bottom.
I don't know if we can handle, Boggs, a year with FSU getting relegated.
Oh, my gosh. How great would that? I mean, I would be really sad.
He loves the Knowles.
But it's also one of those things that would be really cool for college sports. I mean, all these stadiums at the end of the year would be packed. I mean, watch the Premier League in April. Those lower-level teams, those teams at the bottom of the table, they have a lot of people there because they do not want to be relegated. There's a lot of money there that gets lost. That'd be really fun.
How much would they have to expand the college football playoff this year to get FSU in?
Oh, my gosh.
128
Probably by
teams?
100 spots. Probably 100 spots. Leave it to the college playoff football committee, though. They're talking about 16, maybe 24. Maybe we'll get to 100. You know? Maybe the whole season is just a playoff. I don't know.
And now you've got coaches. It's that time of the year where coaches are trying to recruit players from other teams. And you got coaches now. I think the Missouri coach went to the press and just like all his players, people are trying to rip them away and just how bad the system is. And we're back to the same point of year where coaches got to just whine about everything and how bad it is when they are partly responsible for all of this.
Yeah, 100%. They're part of the problem. They don't want somebody in charge telling them who they're going to schedule. Do you think Drinkowitz wants somebody to tell him, hey, man, this year you're not playing Southwest Missouri State. You're going to play Ohio State, or you're going to play Washington, or you're going to play Penn State, or you're going to play Iowa. You don't want somebody telling them that. If we professionalize and go to the Super League, Missouri ain't playing bad teams anymore. They're playing teams SEC caliber every week. Every week.
There's nowhere to hide, Missouri. Show your face. Nope. Super League is coming for you.
Yeah, it's just, these coaches. How many times have I said these coaches on this podcast? It's probably over under maybe 15 and a half.
I was going to say 374.
Yeah, that's a lot, yeah.
I was keeping track.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Let's move on to the next one. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
This is a good one. In 2025, we learned senior leadership has never thought about wrinkled table skirts until Twitter does. Yes, people, we're back to talking about wrinkled tablecloths. And LSU, as crazy as life can be, you can be managing a major PR crisis and still lose sleep because a frickin' tablecloth becomes the bane of your existence. Boggsy, I really do hope our good friends at LSU don't hate us too much for bringing it up. But I've got an idea. Let's just raw dog our tables at media availabilities moving forward.
Why not?
Screw the table skirts.
Who cares? Yeah.
Think of all the money you'll save.
Or just do balloons. Did you see the story this week about how much money Tennessee has spent on balloons?
I did not.
$1 million.
Come on.
I probably have to take this out of the podcast because I need to do some research on that. I believe I saw it was $1 million they spent on balloons.
I need to get in that business.
Keep talking while I look.
It sounds lucrative.
I can't believe you didn't see this.
I just want to see a breakdown of all the things they bought balloons for. Game day arches, press conferences, luncheons, speakers.
Yeah. Recruiting, dude. They must just be.
Maybe they had a game where they gave away 100,000 balloons and everybody released them, like right at kickoff. You think that's where the expenses came from?
Have you ever been to a game where, like Florida State, when I was really young, used to release balloons at the beginning of the game? All these garnet and gold balloons. I mean, they would release thousands of them. And, of course, you know, it's really bad for the environment, so we stopped doing it, or they stopped doing it. But it was a pretty cool deal.
Since we're reflecting back, an early episode, I told a story about the joys of life and how to recapture just that fun spirit we had as youth. And I mentioned going to Mickey D's and getting 2 vanilla cones and putting one in each hand.
Yeah.
My backup for that, when I get tired of eating soft serve ice cream cones,
Yeah.
is balloons. Just go get a string, tie it around a balloon, put one in each hand, and just walk outside, walk around the neighborhood for like 5 minutes. And I guarantee you a smile will come to your face as you're holding those balloons.
I found the story. The University of Tennessee, not just athletics, might spend around $1 million annually on balloons, a figure that includes athletics and other departments, making it, according to Google, a significant decoration budget.
Orientation.
Significant. Oh, they're everywhere.
Prospects coming to campus, cafeterias.
Yeah. The arch too. You gotta have arches of balloons. They've got to be everywhere.
I don't know if that's including balloon animals.
Ooh, that would be
at
fun.
Games.
Yeah.
Can you make balloon animals, Boggs?
No, can you?
No. It's the screeching of the balloons and the fear that they're going to explode in my face.
Yeah, that's bad.
Is terrifying.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Bark, I loved writing this one. So in 2025, we learned that Diego Pavia should be a professional wrestler. Holy shit.
Perfect.
This dude could walk into any arena in America and immediately be a heel that everyone knows. His comments about F the Heisman voters have grown legs and extended into more than a short-term news cycle story. Nonetheless, I didn't particularly agree with his attitude and what he said, but if you watched any college football this year, you saw that he's a must-watch player who guided a team that had never, and I mean never, garnered a 10-win regular season. And part of that had to do with the attitude he displayed in his IG story. He was the most impactful player in college football and should have won the Heisman because he plays with a chip on his shoulder. And who are we to judge on how this guy became a Heisman finalist? My former boss and I would joke all the time, if we could dunk a basketball, we'd moon everyone in the crowd and run around the court flipping everybody off.
Nobody wants to see that.
That's a joke, but you get my point. Maybe that's what he'll do to the crowds at WrestleMania when he makes it there. And Barca, remember those T-shirts that we used to have that had chip on the shoulder? Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah. I remember them. We all had big chips on our shoulder. It was actually written there. We wouldn't forget.
It was there. It was
a
there.
mindset.
Did you have one?
It was a mentality. It was a mindset.
It was. Yeah.
We're all in this together. We're one team, 110 strong.
Had that chip on your shoulder,
all rowing
man.
together.
I don't know.
If I ever forgot, I just looked over and I was like, oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
oh,
And there you go. I need to start acting more like a chip on my shoulder.
I got a chip. I got an edge.
Yeah.
These people don't want to see me out here.
So it's just one of those things, man, with this Pavia thing. I mean, part of me thinks, would this have happened if he had LSU on his helmet or a gator on his helmet or a spear on his helmet?
Sports need villains.
They do.
We know this. And people like to falsely create them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to think that Pavia was the most talked about college football player this year throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think back to the Story Arcs episode. People love to see someone fall from glory.
Yeah.
And this was all set up from making him a villain, and sure, he played into some of it. But once he made that big mistake after not winning the Heisman, people were just waiting for it. They egged him on for weeks and weeks. If you looked on social, people were baiting him. Honestly, there was a lot of stuff that I thought was extremely questionable, just with his background, where he came from. But the thing that gets me the most out of all of this, and I'm not saying he was right for saying F the voters. He apologized. Not that big of a deal to me. You know, it gets out of the news cycle after 48 hours. But it's just the freaking Heisman, okay?
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about football. This is a guy that played with a chip on his shoulder. This was a guy, if you saw his high school highlights, I think he was a no-star, who's always played with edge. He was at New Mexico State and he came to Vandy and they had a 10-win season. And if you said 20 years ago to me, Vandy's going to have a 10-win season, and they showed me a picture of this guy,
Yeah.
I would say, get out of here. That's not the person on the field that's going to lead and change the program.
Yes.
So it's a mentality. He was pissed. He was upset. He felt he should have won. He's the ultimate competitor. It's a reason why Vandy is 10-2 and going to a bowl in Florida for the first time since, I can't remember when the last time that was. Maybe it was 55. I can't remember.
I think they played in the Gator Bowl in 55.
Some of the reporters that have come out after, a couple of media members, and some of them, I'm not going to name them here because I don't want to give them the glory, but a couple of quotes I came across on Twitter the last few days after Pavia made the unfortunate post about effing the voters. One reporter said, "But after 6 years in college, you'd think Pavia would have signed up for at least one course in humility now." And then another said, "This is exactly why I left Pavia off my ballot." Effing just spare me. Like,
get out of here.
When did we get to the point, especially sports fans, when everyone decides who's got class and who doesn't?
Yeah.
Classless. It's a word that's thrown around everywhere. I can't stand it. Everybody's a card holder, a member, and they get to determine that player's classy because they gave a speech and thanked everybody else. And that player's not classy because of the clothes they wore.
Yeah.
And walking in with their brothers for the Heisman ceremony.
Yeah.
Man, we've all got our faults. I just don't know why it's so easy. Like that person's got class. It's like, screw that, man. This is a joke.
Yeah, just appreciate the ride, man. This guy was must-watch TV for 3 months. They had their highest ratings I would think maybe they've ever had for this kid. Just enjoy it. Like, you don't have any control of how he acts. Just enjoy what he did.
If you want to root for him or against him, great.
Do it. Yeah, but don't say stuff like this, man.
That class line gets me, though. Just like, I'm going to determine, say, this person's class. It's like, you don't even know this person. Be a fan. Be outspoken about what happens in the games. But when you start getting into determining, and you start flooding social media and tagging him and all this stuff, I mean, I don't know. I just feel it's too easy. It's a lot of mental abuse, and we all have opinions. That, to me, is just like, when you start talking about someone's character that you don't even know, and we're talking about someone that's playing a football game that just says something about Heisman voters. They didn't actually get convicted of a crime.
Yeah, just let him be, man. And plus, like, you forgot that you left out the biggest part. The dude's 5'7". He's 5'7". They list him at 5. I don't know what they list him at.
They list him at like 6 or 6'1".
He's like 5'7", dude. And just let him be, man. You know what? He's gonna provide for inspiration for kids who are 8, 9, 10, 11 years old who are undersized. Like, yeah, you can play quarterback in the SEC if you're 5'7". You just have to not really care. Just go get it. And like this, the whole holier than thou talk is just brutal. I mean, what came to mind is it's like a prominent rock band they've abused drugs for a long time. Man, I'm going crazy here. But we accept what they gave us, right? They gave us all of this great stuff, and we appreciate it. Yeah, it really sucks that they used drugs. It really sucks that they may have died early, but they gave us this great stuff. And just appreciate what this dude has done for college football. I know Vanderbilt people do. I would imagine they were probably pissed that he said that, but at the end of the day, he's brought more notoriety to that program than anybody ever has. I don't know. You're right. I mean, these people that just talk this holier than thou stuff, just save it.
I want to know. I think that's a great analogy. Maybe a future professional wrestling.
Yeah.
When was the last time you watched wrestling?
It's been a long time. Probably since I was 12. So, I mean, I was like a big Ric Flair dude, Ric Flair, NWA, Hogan, like the Saturday Night Main Event stuff that used to come on in the 80s.
Oh, I know.
That was right in my wheelhouse. I can't remember when I stopped watching. It was like an abrupt stop, though. It was like, I guess I just couldn't do it anymore.
It's probably when you grew up.
Maybe. But yeah, I just haven't. I know you're an avid wrestling fan. So tell me what you think about Pavia's, like, could he make it?
I never grew up, people. I love wrestling.
That's right.
I spent the last year watching the John Cena retirement tour, watching the last match. I have a lot of takes on it, but I'm not going to bore you here. Maybe I'll start my own wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
But Diego Pavia has a lot of the DNA of what a good heel would be in wrestling. We've just seen it in the last 4 or 5 years with Logan Paul. But I can imagine him walking down the ramp with his two brothers by his side, the Pavia brothers.
To be his managers, yeah.
To be like the Mean Street Posse way back in the day.
Yeah.
With Shane McMahon. You know, these guys that you just despise. I think Pavia, too, you know, any good WWE performer now also has to take some acting schools and get some training. You know, they don't have to be the best actor in the world. You don't need to be Daniel Day-Lewis. But get some of that training in on the side. You know, his mic work, I think, would be incredible.
Yeah, he's had a lot of experience with a microphone in his face. He knows what that's like.
Yeah.
I think he'd be awesome. I think he just fits the bill. Grant, I don't know enough about the technical part about it. I just know from his personality and the fact that he would be a draw from day one. From day one, people would know who he is. And, I mean, to me, that's kind of half the battle in wrestling. I mean, it's just the name on the card.
Yeah, you have to evoke emotion. He would just have to put in the work behind the scenes.
Yeah, he would.
So let's do it. Let's see it. I like the idea.
And one thing, though, if you tell him that he can't do it, he's going to do it.
You'll never be a professional wrestler.
That's
Diego.
right.
Never.
You know, I had an idea, like, have you ever thought about how spite is such a big motivator for high-level athletes? Telling somebody they can't do it. I mean, you just, throughout history, those are like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. I mean, Michael Jordan got cut from his whatever freshman basketball team, whatever the story is. Basically, someone telling him he can't do it, and he said, "All right, well, screw you. I am going to do it." It's such a powerful motivating force.
Not just athletes. For me,
for everybody, right? Yeah.
I love the doubt. I live with the chip on my shoulder. No joke. I want to be told I can't do something, or it's impossible, or I'll never achieve something, and that gives me more of a kick in the ass than someone just telling me how great I did at something.
Right. It's interesting. I mean, I'm particularly not wired that way, but I think high-level competitive people are, and that guy, like, he's the epitome of that.
Let's move along to the next one. In 2025, we learned athletic directors are still not interested in having a real conversation about improving work conditions in sports. The Athletic Director U report was a prime example of this. If you haven't read it, check it out. To me, it was a warning shot across the industry. It confirmed what everyone already feels but rarely says out loud. Burnout in college athletics is no longer anecdotal. Exhaustion and disengagement are both in the high-risk range. That means people are not just tired, they are emotionally checked out. And this is not just an entry-level problem, it's happening at every level. Thousands of administrators were surveyed in the ADU report, and the results exposed the quiet truth about this business. College athletics is at a crossroads. Staff are actively leaving. Morale is declining. Workloads keep increasing. Compensation is not keeping up. Respect from leadership is missing. Work-life balance barely exists. Should I go on? People feel unseen inside their own buildings. So we're going to say this one more time. Our invite is still open. If there's an athletic director out there who actually wants to come on this show or even invite us to their athletic department to talk honestly and to commit to real action and commit to real change in this industry, we're right here. You know where to find us. Right, Boggsy?
Yeah, it is something that needs to be taken care of. And, you know, on one side, I could see why ADs may not want to do it. They don't have time, right? It's like last on their priority list. I mean, we've talked about how college athletics is all screwed up. So this is just one part of it. But people are running for the hills in this business. They are leaving in droves. And we've mentioned that a million times on our podcast, but we have personal experience of, leaving the business, and others that we know that we're really close to that have left the business as well. They just can't handle it anymore. And just when's there going to be a breaking point? I don't know. I don't know what the breaking point's going to be. So,
and the sad thing is, when these people are leaving, people we've known, a lot of great people in the industry, again, a lot of times they aren't even being asked why they're leaving.
Mm-hmm. I've never was asked about how we were doing or how our department was doing or how we feel about our supervisor, or there was just no culture. It was just, hey, we're going to take advantage of the fact that you like what you're doing and not pay you anything and not just pay attention to what you got to deal with. And it's a problem, man. It's a problem, and we're just going to keep seeing more people leave. Good people who are awesome at their jobs. Just going to get to the point where it's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
And you're right. ADs are busy. They got a lot on their plate right now with all the NIL changes, trying to keep their job as they need to find a way to compete and survive in this new era of college sports. But as we said before, this is an opportunity for an AD to make their department, to me, the shining light, the beacon of all of athletics, of like, this is how we're doing it at this place. And this is an attractive spot where we can recruit new talent, where they not only want to come and give their best, but they want to stay.
Yeah.
We're going to reward them. We're going to give them pay. We're going to promote a great culture. We're going to get after it in our work, because you still got to work nights. You still got to work weekends. But we're going to find other ways to incentivize staff and make them feel like they are truly part of the team, instead of the same old cliches that we always hear in sports that are all talk and no action.
Yeah, it could be a real big recruiting tool to get really good talent. And ADs just don't want to go down that route. It's like we mentioned before, if you gave bonuses to people on your staffs that work with these sports that make a lot of money for your university and program, it wouldn't cost you a lot of money. It costs you a tenth of what it would cost you to buy out a coach. So it's definitely doable. And like we said, there's money. There's money there. They found $20.5 million for House, and they're finding more and more and more as they have to find more. I mean, it's just the name of the game these days, and it can be done. So ADs, do it. Be the shining light on the hill. People come work for you and love it. And you'll love them because they're great.
And we'll help you.
And they'll totally help you. Call us. Barca, here's more ludicrousness. It just recently happened, but I had to throw this in here. In 2025, we learned that the ACC is the laughingstock of college football. Not only did they campaign to have one conference member in the college football playoff over another, quote, member, and I use that term loosely with Notre Dame, but technically they are. But word came down this week that the ACC will have a 9-game schedule in 2026, but for only 12 teams. Who would have thought that having a 17-team conference, which includes the Fighting Irish, would provide for a great scheduling model? The ACC, which is calling 2026 a, quote, transition year, will see 12 of its 17 schools play 9 conference games, with Clemson, Georgia Tech, Florida State, North Carolina, and Boston College playing just 8. Those 5 teams each have multiple Power 4 opponents already scheduled outside the conference. Because the ACC has an odd number of teams, one school will play 8 league games each season starting in 2027, when the entire conference goes to a 9-game schedule. Barca, think about how ludicrous that is.
Insane.
It's insane. So under the ACC's new 9-game scheduling plan, which was approved in September, each team will be required to play at least 10 games against Power 4 competition, meaning 1 non-conference Power 4 game for the schools playing the full 9-game conference slate, and 2 for any teams playing 8. They're also going to change the tiebreaker, and they haven't figured out what that's going to look like, but they have to because not everybody's playing the same amount of games. And this also happened this past week. Clemson and Notre Dame have separately scheduled a 12-year home-and-home series outside of the league, which may hint at Notre Dame's future plans since their AD, Pete Bavacqua, went scorched earth on Jim Phillips and the conference office over the college football playoff snub of the Fighting Irish. I guess that's what you get when nobody cares about half the schools in that conference and your two powerhouse programs, Florida State and Clemson, are drowning in poor performance on the field. What a time to be alive in the ACC. Barca, what a joke. I don't even know how could you look yourself in the mirror like, yeah, we're going to have 17 teams and 16 are going to play 9 and one's going to play 8. What is this?
In wrestling, they call that Steiner math.
It's
It makes no sense. It makes no sense, but I'm sure that'll all work out for the ACC. I mean, they've got a lot of teams in the playoff this year.
They shouldn't even had one.
Things are going great. They got Stanford.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
They got Stanford, too.
They have Boston College. They have Syracuse. Oh, my gosh. Everybody is going crazy over Syracuse football. Their ratings are through the roof.
How much sleep did you lose over this?
Not very much, because I think it's no wonder Florida State and Clemson are trying to get out. I'd be trying to get out too. Now, granted, Florida State and Clemson both need to win more before they can maybe sniff the Super League. But man, what an absolute joke this is. I couldn't even believe it. I read this, I was like, what in the world are they doing?
How the mighty have fallen.
It really is crazy, man.
I don't know. Maybe the ACC could just form their own Super League at this point.
What, with who?
They got it all figured out.
Yeah, they do. 17 teams, prime numbers. Let's get conferences with prime numbers across the country. That's what we need. Let's have one with 23 and one with 13. But 17? 17. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. So they deserve everything they get right now. So they just think they can be like the other they can be like the SEC and they can be like the Big Ten. They can't. Like, you cannot play a neutral site championship game. You can't. You might as well play on campus. Even Florida State, when they're good, they didn't travel. Miami doesn't travel. Clemson's the only school that really does. Virginia Tech does when they're good. Everybody else, a big nothing burger when it comes to travel. And you got to be different. And they're obviously being different with 17 teams. But, man, what a joke. An absolute joke.
There's only one way to go, and that's up.
Yep.
This time next year, we'll be talking about the resurgence of the ACC. All right, here's a fun one. In 2025, we learned Boggs' cat is better trained than half the adults running college football. Good follow-up to your ACC rant.
Mm-hmm.
That said, people, his claim that 40% of cats know how to fetch is absurd and will always remain absurd until the end of time. It's a hoax.
I'm going to have to get some video of it because he definitely does it. But he is smarter than the commissioner of the ACC. He would not have 17 teams in a conference, and he would not make 16 teams play 9 games and another team play 8.
Here we go.
He wouldn't do it. Golly.
Man, I just teed that up just to get you even hotter.
You really did. You did a good job with that. All right, on to the next. In 2025, we learned that crossover season brings out everyone's stories. While our admins stand against the wall in the newest issued team gear, we and our listeners all have stories to tell about crossover season. There are war stories from across the country, and we love to hear them.
We had some great engagement on TikTok. Check us out, NLC Pod, with people sharing their stories left and right of crossover season. We got joy out of the engagement and seeing our community talk to each other about the pain and the horror of that time of year, whether it's the fall or the spring, of changing over sports season. Here are some of the comments that we pulled, just a few of them. One person said, once worked a softball tournament, baseball opening weekend, basketball rivalry game, and a track meet all in the same day. Still get PTSD thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So do I. Another one. Try a triple header of football, men's basketball, and women's basketball with fall tennis, golf, beach volleyball, home baseball, and home softball, all wanting to get something as well. That's my favorite part of sports.
Man, that
Every
is
coach
just,
has to get theirs. I know
they
you're busy
really
right
do.
now with these 8 things,
Right.
but come over here. Talk to me about this. What can you do for me right now?
Yep.
The next one. And winter sports coaches get mad at staff for not taking their Tuesday night game against Friends University as a tune-up seriously.
Yeah.
Speaking my lingo right there.
Yeah, it's definitely speaking my language.
And we got a couple of these that thought spring crossover was even worse. This one said, there are so many more spring sports and facilities, and media relations just absolutely gets crushed. There is zero respect for those staff during these times, and it's downright awful. I think we can agree on that one.
Man.
We sympathize.
Rough time of year, man. Definitely.
I thought this one was interesting. As an AD, I schedule what's best for the programs individually and then hate myself for not looking at what I've done to myself and my staffs.
You think? You think. Jeez.
Hey, thanks to that one AD for commenting,
Yeah.
unless they're trolling us in the comments.
I think, too, it's we both know, and everybody knows, these games have to get played. You know, you have all these games in November for basketball. Like you have to have games. They have to be played. It would just be great just to be communicated with, or just for people to think about the people actually having to work the games. These ADs could say, hey, listen, man, these games have to get scheduled. I'm going to do my best that we're not having a triple header and 2 other sports going on at one time. I'm going to speak to the other coaches that are not in season, and I'm going to tell them, hey, guys, let's leave the media relations and facilities and marketing people alone for these 2 weeks. Unless it's an absolute emergency, leave them alone. Just add some perspective to what people are going through, and there's just none of that. You know, we all know the games have to get played. But they just do. It's just kind of the way it is. Like, it's called overlap season for a reason. But just be better about communicating to your staff that you know what's going on and you're going to address it the way you can, the best way that you can. That's all we're asking for. We know games have to be played.
What if we somehow had light up wristbands or some sort of other visual as we walked across the department so we could tell what people are dealing with workloads? Maybe the wristband turns green, like I'm good right now, I'm cool. Maybe it's yellow, like it's getting a little hectic, and then there's red, and you see people, probably the whole department.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone.
Probably the whole department's walking around with red this time of year, and they're just giving each other blank stares in the hallway and just nodding and just walking on and going about their business.
Just have some thought about what people are going through, and it's just like I mentioned in the podcast, I never experienced that. I never had someone say, hey, I know you guys are going through it. Why don't you not come in on Tuesday? Or why don't you not come in on Wednesday? Well, you know, whatever day there's not a lot going on. And just be aware of what the schedule is. ADs, just be aware. That's all.
No, it's the other way around. It's like, hey, man, I know you got a lot going on right now. Man, that was a late game last night. It was exciting.
Yeah.
You're burning the midnight oil. I've got one more request here.
That's right.
Do you think you can get this done for me?
Yeah, can you show up for this photo shoot at 8 a.m. for my sport that starts in March? Like, yeah, I'll be there. And you're there. You're a zombie, but you're there. And it just takes some thought and some planning. Just do it, ADs. Do it.
The last TikTok comment, my crossover has finally ended. Thank you for recognizing folks in the trenches. Hey, like they say at Chick-fil-A, our pleasure.
That's right.
Salute. Job well done. Hopefully
right.
your crossover is completed.
That's right.
Hopefully you get a couple days during winter break.
Some holidays.
You're not sitting somewhere
fun.
like Shreveport, Louisiana, eating spaghetti, waiting for a piece of shit bowl game.
Oh, that's another thing, too. It's just I never experienced, and you have, dude, and just sitting in a place on Christmas Day, even if you're in a nice place, just Christmas away from home, and more than likely than not, away from your family. It's super, super hard. And, man, people are doing it right now. Right now is the time. So keep plugging.
I've got a list for the next one, Boggsy.
Okay.
This is a rapid fire one for all the
Okay.
hardcore day one listeners. Little nuggets from a lot of our episodes. This is episode 34. We started in May. We've come a long way, baby.
That's
So
right.
here we go. In 2025, we learned our checks still haven't cleared from our sponsors.
No.
So we had to stop running sponsor ads for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
We also learned social media sucks.
It's the worst.
That's a Boggs
The total
quote.
worst.
I'm getting that printed on a t-shirt and I'm going to wear for an episode.
You should.
Team flight etiquette is dead.
Man.
John Calipari claims he's not a transactional coach.
That is a funny one.
That still gets me, man.
That guy. When it comes transactional, I'm just going to leave. Like, come on, dude. Really? You're going to... Do you believe what you just said? Do you believe that? Obviously he does. I mean, they're winning games, so good for him, but goodness gracious, man. You don't have to say stuff like that.
That guy could sell ice to an Eskimo, man.
He really could, man. He really, really could.
In 2025, we also learned how not to hire a coach who's a piece of shit.
Yeah. You have the questions, the interview questions.
I've got them. If you need them, ADs, just hit me up on my beeper. In 2025, we learned every good story follows the same hidden patterns. Go back and listen to that one, people. You learned something.
It's a fun one.
Also, AI will never resist until it has total control.
It's about right.
There might be an AI takeover on this show at some point.
That would be fun. Maybe we'll do that.
This is a deep cut. Andy Mack is not a cop. Back from the Heisman story that he told. Go back and listen to that one. He is not a cop, people. Boggsy went full heel on his own people and dismissed comms from the list of the 5 suckiest jobs in sports. He didn't even list comms.
Yeah. I've caught a lot of heat for that since that episode came out.
Made me think,
So-
what was he doing all those days at work?
Good question. Looking at cat videos, fetching.
Training for this
Training.
moment.
Yeah.
I think that was episode 2, and that's one of our most listened to episodes as well. People love that one.
Yep. It's a good one.
Boggs also spent most of his work days locating the TV camera, especially on golf courses.
God, I love that episode. That was so fun. Yeah, man, you got to find the camera, Barca. I mean, this pretty face has got to find the camera.
I'm just glad
I
your
did.
camera right now is a lot better than the early episodes. We've come a long
little
way.
bit better now, yeah. I figured out the lighting.
And now it's your cat that's making these cameos in the videos, not you trying to
right.
sneak on camera. It's your cat.
That's right. So, yeah, SIDs, marketing people, like, I guess you're probably about 4 months away if you're a golf person from, like, into your prime TV windows. So start getting ready for that. I mean, you can always be ready and be prepared. You know, if you need some notes, let me know. Hit me up, and I can let you guys know on the things that I looked to do when I was in that position. And get on TV, man. Get on TV.
Where were you setting up? Typically, I guess it was in the tee box area because you knew there was going to be a shot there.
Yeah.
And players were coming every,
Yeah.
like 15, 20, 25
10
minutes,
minutes.
a new group?
What I learned pretty quickly is that, and no offense to the people at the Golf Channel because they're great and they're awesome, but when they first started doing college golf, they didn't really understand that it was a team game. It was more about, they would always focus on who the lead individuals were on that Monday, or Memorial Day Monday, I think is when it was. And once I kind of figured out that these guys don't really care about the team standings, they just want to follow the leaders. I went and found the leaders and was just with them the whole time. You can get some spots on the green. You can find spots. You definitely find really good spots at the tee box. And then you figure out where the camera angles are. You just have to go do it, man.
A coach would be like, Boggsy, we just need you to follow one of our players today. I'll follow this player. The assistant's got this next player. The trainer's got this next player. And then afterwards, coach is like, hey, Boggsy, tell me what you saw through holes X, Y, and Z. And you're like, oh, man, I got held up on hole 8 for 45
for an
minutes.
hour.
Hopefully coach isn't watching the replay and watching your face just on TV for like an hour.
Yeah, man. I was stuck on hole 8 for an hour. I don't know what happened. I really liked the grass on that tee box. It was really nice. But yeah, finding TV when you get a chance. Now, when I worked basketball, I knew I was going to be on TV in basketball.
All the time.
All the time.
Every coach shot.
So I tried to play it cool, I've been here, done that. Golf is where I could spread my wings and let my personality shine. I could just be the shining city on the hill. So, yeah, being on TV was awesome.
In 2025, we also learned staff should be given sabbaticals. That was one of your ideas, Boggsy.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
It is a good one, and I really think all careers need them. But people in sports definitely need them. Just to shut it down. Shut it down if you can. So hope maybe more ADs will listen to us and give staffers a chance to recharge and be better when they come back. But not hold my breath.
We also learned in 2025, HR departments are worthless.
Yeah.
Sorry, Toby. Everything that the office did about HR was actually pretty factual. Just know, people, as we did on a past parting shot rant in early episodes, always think twice about involving anything in the workplace when it comes to HR, unless it's something that is a very serious, violation that needs to be reported. But if it's like, man, I'm not getting along with this person or that person or just daily office drama.
Yeah.
They're going to put that on a book and they're going to support you for some of it, but at the right time, they're going to drop the hammer, maybe even the axe.
We need to challenge them though, Barca, to come up with particular language about not hiring pieces of shit.
We do.
That's my challenge to HR people everywhere, to the 2 or 3 if that are listening. Figure out ways to put that in your job description. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe we could do some of that. Maybe one episode we'll take a shot at what that would look like.
I would reach out to HR and offer that idea, but again,
yeah, that would go in your file.
That's gonna come back against me down the road.
Yep, it definitely will.
All right, we've got 2 more on this rapid fire list. Selling a stake in Alabama football or LSU football or Georgia football or Ohio State football or Florida State football would generate some real dollars in the NIL era.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to see some reports out there of teams entertaining things like this.
Well, Utah had that private equity deal. I think they made $500 million is how much they're going to get from that. So, and I don't know exactly what the ownership stake is or how they have to pay him back or all that. I just know they're going to get a nice influx of cash. I sent you this. This is kind of going on the side, but, the way college departments and college sports leave so much money on the table. So much. I mean, Barca, remember that email I sent you where, the NBA has 45 official partners. They have an official skincare provider. They have official everything. And
Sarah V.
Yeah, college football and basketball is maybe I'll go talk to Donnie's Ford here down the street, or maybe I'll talk to, such and such lawn care who, I can get a deal and get my yard mowed for free. It's you're not really using your assets the way that you should. And if you Super League again, you have 30 of the top brands in football, and you're marketing those to the world as one package. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the money if you decided, hey, everybody's going to wear Nike, everybody's going to wear Adidas. We're selling those rights for the whole league. Think about the money you would make. Or Coke is the official soft drink provider of the Super League. I mean, there's a lot of money being left on the table. So, again, that's just another aside in this whole deal. I think ADs are starting to figure out ways to kind of tap into that, but it has to be more of a collective thing. So,
How far behind are these schools on just doing jersey sponsorships or sleeve sponsorships?
Yeah,
college
pretty
is
far
just
behind.
Always behind the curve on all of this stuff.
I think it's going to start coming to the forefront here soon. I mean, again, there's no rules, so I guess the NCAA has to approve things, but do they? I mean, if they don't, if they don't approve it, sue them. And that's kind of where I was in the first item on our list here, that college athletics is so messed up because they need to professionalize everything to make it work. And right now, it's just no holds barred, Wild Wild West.
Well, the biggest one that they're all going to sell out to at some point across the board, DraftKings or FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA and NFL,
Yep.
how they basically sold their souls. It reminds me of back in the 80s of like cigarette money, like, Marlboro Man and all that stuff. And I won't debate on the ethics of taking that kind of money, but these professional leagues are not running from it because you know what? At the end of the day, they know the owners are getting paid more. The players are getting paid more.
Yep.
The league is making more.
There's just so much money being left on the table right now. And that would be the only thing I think that may have the Super League stuff maybe gets kicked into overdrive in the next 2 or 3 years. You're going to have the TV stuff. It's just going to be out of control because they're all kind of up at the same time.
It's going to be a power grab.
Really.
A power grab for one or two people because right now, everybody's in it for their own interests and everybody's grabbing money for themselves. So there's not this collective, like you said, NBA, like list of 70, 80 partnerships.
Yeah.
But when you look at Sankey and the Big Ten commissioner, those are probably the two people with the most power right now.
And they don't want that. They don't want that.
Well, they might if they figure out a deal where they are in control of this Super League.
Yeah.
So who knows? But you're right. There's money to be made. There's money being left on the table.
So much money being left on the table.
These conferences and colleges just across the board are way behind the curve. And I mean, we're just now getting to paying players legally.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about all the years that places have been selling 100,000 tickets to games and not paying the players 1 cent of it. Think about that. Nuts, man. Nuts.
And the final one on the list, in 2025, we also witnessed the worst hire in college sports history. Okay, that's a little over the top, but we'll leave it at that. You have to go back to that episode as well for that rant.
Yeah, that was fun. I kind of looked back at that the other day, man. We got after that dude pretty hard.
We did.
I wonder if he's still there. I haven't even looked at the staff directory.
I don't know if we're getting a Christmas card from that school this year.
Probably not going to get one from them, but, I mean, we're not wrong. All right. Barca, on to the next. In 2025, we learned Dr. Matt Hummel put data behind what so many of us already felt about working in sports. His research and his conversation with us, which became our most listened to episode, confirmed that the job is hard and can take a real toll on your mental health, with athletic department and team cultures playing a major role in burnout. For a lot of us, it wasn't new information. It was validation.
It was an incredible episode. A must listen. If you haven't, check it out. And we definitely need to have Dr. Hummel back on at some point and continue the conversation. But a lot of the clips blew up on TikTok. I felt like it made a pretty big wave across the sports industry. We got so much feedback, so many DMs from people out there feeling the exact same way.
Yep.
There are a couple of things that just stood out if I was quickly to recap the episode. One, the story he told about an athletics employee at UC looking back to see how many coworkers were still at the department when she looked back to when she started 5 years ago. And 95% of the people were gone.
Oh, man. Unreal. That was a crazy stat. But very believable.
It's alarming.
Very, very believable.
There's also a tragic story about an athletic staffer that they were studying his health with a Fitbit. And that staffer ended up passing away from a serious medical condition. That person had felt that their work was affecting their health, and it sadly ended. And that's the other side of just the importance of really why we're doing what we're doing.
But you totally get it, right? You eat bad. You're stressed out. You're thinking about your job from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. And you wake up in the middle of the night, you may be thinking about it.
Get no sleep.
And it's so hard on your body. There's all the research that Dr. Hummel did, and then all the research about how stress can just completely destroy you.
Dr. Hummel also touched on just how ridiculous the badge of honor is for coaches and how working harder doesn't equal more success. That's not the answer. And I think not only coaches can take that message to heart, also just day-to-day athletic staffers. We don't have to work 80, 90 hours a week to prove our worth. And also, he mentioned, I like this one, and this one has to be done at some point. We've flirted with the idea, but doing a report card for athletic staffers where they can grade the conditions of their department, like NFL players get to grade their own organizations. That's a great one. Just so many overall ideas on how ADs can commit to supporting change.
Yeah, that was a really good one. Maybe we should do that. That'd be really fun. It would be really enlightening to hear about places. It really would.
For the next one, I really like this one. Very thankful and have a lot of gratitude. In 2025, we learned our guests are incredibly brave. Many of you came on the show, had never heard of the show, but were then never heard of again. We assume you're somewhere in the middle of New Mexico under witness protection. Hey, look, you risked it all for us, and we respect that deeply. So let's take a trip down memory lane on some of the things we learned from our guests. First, from Big Joe Dubin, we learned that losing your identity does not erase your worth. Men do not talk enough about how hard life can get. You do not need permission to chase your dreams. You just need to start. Day one is tomorrow. From Eric Nichols, we learned the mailroom is an open door, not a punchline. No one dreams of starting here, but with the right mindset, it's a real opportunity. Also, most great ideas miss before they hit, but if you're paying attention, that moment can arrive like Sandstorm. From our good friend of the show, Andy Mack, we learned the sports bubble feels like the entire world until you walk into Costco on a Saturday game day. Most people at that time are buying paper towels and rotisserie chickens. Love a good Costco rotisserie chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Working in sports convinces you the job is everything. Leaving teaches you it never was. That realization doesn't diminish the work. It finally puts life back into proportion and perspective. From B. Figgy, we learned people don't quit jobs, they quit ceilings. Growth matters, stagnation is real, and betting on yourself is calculated, not reckless. Running your own shop means learning admin and operations. Building your portfolio beats chasing a logo every time. From Matt Brown, we learned that unionization sounds great on paper for staffers working in sports, but state laws control everything. The system is far more complicated than a rallying cry. I was kind of hoping that one would work out, though, you know?
Oh, man, it really should. It would be great for everybody if it would.
He brought us back down to earth.
Yep.
From Scott Fitzgerald, we learned how to rediscover joy. Chaos feels normal when you're buried in the job. Stepping away, whether it's the mountains, silence, or distance, restores perspective and lets joy resurface because you remember who you are outside the role. Letting go is caring deeply without letting outcomes you cannot control run your emotional life.
One thing that he said that was so big for me is the whole arrival fallacy thing, where once we get to a place, once we reach a certain goal, that everything's going to be good after that, and it's just not. And it's just the journey, and how can we as humans fight against that arrival fallacy? You see it across the board. You see it in sports. You see it in business. You see it in everybody's personal lives. It's a really hard thing to overcome, but it's nice to know that you can label it and you can pinpoint it and you can try to get better and not fall prey to it.
Yeah, living in the moment is just probably one of the things I've struggled with the most.
Yep, it's really
I'm
hard.
always looking behind or looking ahead, but not living in the moment.
Yep.
From our old comrade, Ryan Schultz. This was one of my favorite episodes. Sorry, Boggsy.
Yeah.
We learned the only way to survive the pressure is to laugh hard enough to forget how insane the job really was. A good, friendly prank can last a lifetime because almost anything is believable when you're working in sports. Even the prank we pulled. And just a tip, if someone emails you saying, I'm in Bismarck on a Greyhound, double check the email address because it's probably Kentucky week, people.
Oh, man. That is just so great. Man, I'm so glad he came on. That was so fun.
Yeah, it was awesome catching up, and that prank and story will live on forever.
Forever. What a great story.
From Mark Cohen, we learned the job was always about the people. A 4-minute HR meeting can erase 36 years. You can do everything right and still get cut. but you can't fake being loved by the people you served.
Man, what a great episode that was with him. I'm so glad he joined us. What a great perspective he has on life, too. It's awesome.
Very positive.
It's inspiring. So if you haven't listened to that one, go listen to that one. It's great. And we hope Mark's doing well. Whatever he's doing right now, we hope he's doing well.
His positive mindset and his stories of just all the athletes he worked with and affected and the relationship he built. It was a very, very inspiring story through a very, very tough time where someone like myself would have been extremely angry.
Yeah. There was not an angry bone in his body. It was incredible. Listen to it, guys. It's really, really good.
From Dr. Matt Hummel, we learned burnout is not a personal failure. It's the predictable result of an industry designed to keep people always on. Workaholism is the symptom, burnout is the outcome, and nothing good comes from powering through the grind. His research showed working more hours does not lead to better results, but it does lead to exhaustion, turnover, and people quietly leaving the business.
Putting the data behind what we feel every day, or what we did feel every day. So very, very important work he's doing.
And finally, the guest who's appeared on this show almost as much as Boggsy. Well, maybe not. From Eric Jones, we learned his mustache is still majestic. And college athletics does not observe Christmas. It's like that old Folgers commercial. The best part of waking up on Christmas morning is not a call asking for ticket counts while you're opening presents with Folgers in your cup. Just remember, people, your spouse is actually the real athletic director.
No doubt.
EJ's 2 appearances away from a 5-timers jacket. And we must note that Boggs is not his Wally Pip. And finally, we learned ice cream cake fixes most office problems.
Man, doesn't it ever? So, so good. How many ice cream cakes have you had in the last year?
I don't know if I've had one ice cream
zero.
cake. And I don't know if I've had one ice cream sandwich either. But you know what I did have? I just went up to New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And there was a Jersey Freeze there. I think it'd been there since the 1950s. And it was the
What's a Jersey Freeze?
It was in the hometown of Bruce Springsteen.
Ooh.
Freehold, New Jersey. Had to stop there after having a nice Italian dinner.
You got to.
They got the soft serve on the cone.
Ooh.
And then I had it dipped.
I was going to ask if you did.
In the chocolate.
Yeah, you got to do that.
I'm trying to think of the last time I had a chocolate dipped vanilla soft serve cone.
It's been 20 years for me. I could guarantee it. But why don't we eat more ice cream cakes? I may have not had an ice cream cake since I left working with EJ.
I think it's the size. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's too big?
Well, what are you going to do with an ice cream cake when you go home? I know they make smaller sizes, but...
Yeah, but you're right. If you don't eat it right away, what's going to happen to it? I guess you could freeze it.
They take up a lot of room in your freezer, too.
They do. They do. It's almost like you need to have a lot of people around. Like what EJ did. He would just call people down. Those ice cream cakes always were gone.
Maggie Moose.
They never made it. What if they just sold ice cream cakes like by the slice? What if you went into Publix or your local supermarket and they had them by the slice? I guess
what if we did that ourselves?
Refrigerated.
That's our new business model.
Have a no longer credentialed ice cream cake slice business. Instead of selling pizza by the slice, we sold ice cream cake by the slice.
Come into our shop. We don't sell cake and we don't sell pie, but we sell ice cream cake and bitch about your working and sports problems. And,
that's right.
And we'll have some pieces of ice cream cake together.
That's right. Maybe build a podcast studio inside of our... That'd be kind of fun.
I would be worthless if I had ice cream cake all day.
I know. It's so good, though. Man, such a hidden gem of life. I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I don't care.
Oh, no.
I don't care. So in 2025, we learned we'll never get to the bottom of the Epstein thing, ever. Boggs, this is a sports podcast, I know, and I don't want to get political, but do some deep diving on some of this info. Pablo Torre Finds Out is a great place to start. His podcasts on the topic have been enthralling, thought-provoking, and extremely well done when it comes to this topic. There's no gain to be made by him, just hard-nosed, well-researched facts and logical interviews done with surgical precision. I can't recommend them enough to people. And this thing runs deep, really, really deep, deeper than we can ever imagine. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't want to get deep down the well.
Yep.
People out there can connect the dots. But damn, I like this idea, man. We're trying to grow our audience. This is really smart thinking, Boggsy.
Yeah.
This is going to drive our viewership.
Oh, we're going to get so many viewers and listeners. It just goes so deep, and it just, I don't even know what to say about it. It's just a topic that there's a lot of layers, and the layers are really, really, really deep and
terrifying.
Terrifying. And I think some of the puzzle pieces may be starting to get put together a little bit. And maybe I'll just leave it at that. You guys do your own research, do your own thinking about it. But the Pablo Torre stuff is really, really good, and very entertaining and very well done. And like he says, F around and find out. And one of his guests effed around and found out. And it was a really, really interesting hour of podcasting.
Are you talking about the Tom McMillan episode or the one you just listened to?
Tom McMillan.
Yeah, that was...
It is incredible.
It was a fascinating listen.
Man.
I'm inspired by what Pablo Torre's done.
Me too. He's doing a really good job over there.
He was with the worldwide leader,
mm-hmm.
and now he's carved his own niche, and there's a need out there for real investigative journalism.
Mm-hmm.
We used to see more of that back in the day when we'd have sports reporters and... Outside the Lines with
the Lines.
Bob
really,
Lee,
really good.
And there was a lot more deeper journalism in sports, and it's sort of faded away with the talking heads, as that's driving ratings. So it's cool that he's sort of taken this upon himself and saw some major success and growth for his show.
Yeah.
So it's
New
inspiring.
York Times owns it.
Correct.
But it's super, super good, and it's very well thought out, and he goes after some topics that maybe we've forgotten about, but he's on it. He's on it. F around and find out. He'll get you.
In 2025, we learned that our listeners are the shiznit in our Spotify Wrap for Creators. We appreciate your dedication to the show. Here's some of the numbers. We're just going to pat ourselves on the back right now, but it's really because of you. 2025 was quite the year for the pod. Spotify awarded us a 2025 Marathon Show Award. Fans listened to us longer than 90% of the other shows they listened to. We also made it as a 2025 Instant Hit show. Our debut season was more popular than 94% of other news shows.
Yeah, dude.
Again, we made it to episode 34. How cool. And I think when we first were getting ready to start this year, like, man, most people don't make it through like 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, 3 episodes, I think.
3?
3, yeah.
The show received more shares than 95% of other shows. One episode rose above the rest. Again, that's the Dr. Matt Hummel episode. Go back and listen. And I like this one a lot. It makes me curious. 7 countries were reached overall. Our top 5 countries, drum roll please. Number 5, United Kingdom. Number 4, Nigeria.
Wow.
Number 3, Ecuador.
Yes.
Hey, if you're from Nigeria or Ecuador and you're listening regularly, shoot us a DM, man. We would
that'd
love
be so
to hear
great.
it.
Yes, let's go.
That is so cool. I mean, as much as we think social media sucks,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
just the connectivity that we can reach people across the globe.
Maybe we can be like Conan and call them.
Yeah, and then
That'd be kind of fun.
We can get a TV production, HBO or somebody, or Netflix or whatever, whatever produces that show.
Yeah,
we go around the world.
Yeah, why not?
Nigeria, Ecuador, here we come.
Yeah, we're coming.
Number 2, Canada. We will never blame Canada.
Love the Canadians.
And number 1, United States. No shocker there.
Yeah. All right, Barkin, finally in 2025, we learned we're not alone with DMs from people who tell us to keep going. Barca, you see a majority of these messages, but I think this podcast has resonated with a lot of folks on social media. Many feel the same things that we do, but just can't say it. So we'll keep doing it for them.
It's why we do the show. It's why we started the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's why we're continuing to do the show. We're not making any money from it. Took a lot of risk, I would say, on our ends, because speaking out about a lot of these things, it's obviously not good for our careers in sports if they ever go that route again, whether we do or not. but we felt like there was a much larger purpose to this. And we wanted to get on the therapy couch. We wanted to talk to each other about the things that we would tell each other behind closed doors or in the offices, all of the things that just people never felt comfortable with because at the time, we didn't want to lose our jobs.
Yeah. And I think what it's done too is just if it educates people on things that they should maybe expect working in the business, we don't want to tell people not to do it. We just want to let them know that, hey, there could be some things around the corner here just to be wary of. You could end up maybe with a heart attack because you work too hard and you love it so much, or you could work for nothing for 30 years and get let go like Mark Cohen did in a 4-minute HR meeting. Or that can happen to anybody in the work world, but there's a lot of things out there that we just kind of want to educate people on when you decide to do this. We're still learning about things. And so when we learn, you're going to learn. And that's kind of where we were with this podcast. We just kind of wanted to talk about what it was like to kind of to reminisce, but also, just kind of not warn people, but just let them know there's some things out there.
And we don't have all the answers. And hopefully my missteps or my mistakes can help someone in their own decisions and what's going on in their life. And again, I would never tell somebody to not work in sports or to work in sports, or I think it's just having the conversation and knowing that other people are having these feelings. And if it can help someone get through a hard time or difficult decision on what they want to do, like we're here for that, shoot us a DM, keep telling us your stories. We're going to keep doing the show. At the end of the day, this is just therapy for us to talk, whether 2 people listen or 2 million people listen.
Yeah.
We appreciate the hardcore listeners, the people that have been with us throughout all of this or have found us through social media like TikTok. If there's topics you think we should discuss on the show that we're missing, that you want to hear us go deep on, feel free to let us know. I've enjoyed doing the show, exploring a lot of feelings, crying a lot of tears, really examining a lot of thoughts that I've had over the years that I've kept internal, but I felt like I needed to get out there through the pain, through all of the awesome memories and times, talking about pranks and the things, the battle scars, and hell, we're doing this show today because of just the experiences we had working together. And there's really not many environments in work that are like sports. And so many things. I was on the phone last night for like 2 to 3 hours with 2 people I worked with in the past. And I think that's a pretty rare thing compared to a lot of other workplaces.
Yeah.
So we celebrate a lot of things. We're going to call a lot of things out. We feel like there are some things that need to change, and we need to hold people's feet to the fire. And that's part of this whole thing, while knowing that we made mistakes ourselves. So thank you for listening to us rant about random things that you might not agree with, or supporting us through likes or comments or whatever. And always feel free to reach out.
Time to wrap it up.
And that's another edition of No Longer Credentialed. Thanks to all of you listening, and if you like it, tell a friend and give it a 5-star rating on your podcast app of choice. Don't forget to check us out on social media at NLC Pod on X, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. Until next week, keep grinding.